Could I have everyone's attention, please? We have a copper BMW parked in the parking lot east of here. License plate number Illinois 9371066. Your vehicle is running. Again, that's a copper BMW, Illinois license plate 9371066. Your vehicle is running. Thank you.
Ready? One morning, a group of Irish monks was holding a meeting in a church, and as they were conversing, they saw a ship sailing over them as if in the air, as if it were in the sea. When the crew of the ship saw the gathering taking place below them, they dropped anchor. The anchor came right down to the floor of the church, and the monks seized it. A man came down out of the ship after the anchor, swimming as if he were in water. The monks grabbed him and began dragging him down to help him reach the ground. "For God's sake, let me go," he said, "for you are drowning me." Then he left them, swimming up in the air as before, taking his anchor with him. This story is from an unknown Irish author of the 14th or 15th century, and I have been entranced with it ever since I first read it. I take it as a parable about the necessity of keeping the lines open between the two levels of our being, the level where we proceed with the usual, with life as we know it, and the other level where the marvelous and the impossible present themselves suddenly and bewilderingly. We must, in other words, be ready for both the routine and the revelation. Today, inevitably, many of you will experience this in-between condition. Today is the moment of ritual separation from what was, for a while, a relatively reliable and knowable world. You stand at a boundary. Behind you is your natural habitat, the old haunts where you were nurtured. In front of you is a less knowable prospect of invitation and challenge, the testing ground of your possibilities. You stand between whatever binds you to your past and whatever might be unbounded in your future. One kind of wisdom says keep your feet on the ground. Another says spread your wings. All of you are likely to be caught between these conflicting wisdoms and are indeed unlikely to ever be able to choose between them, either now or in the future. But you don't really have to choose. Everything you gained here, you carry with you. The transcending of boundaries is in fact exactly what this place prepared you for. So may this divide fall away in earnest and the classroom become the workroom of the wider world. May you move about it confidently and freely. May you remember that the anchor of your being lies in what you learned and experienced here. But may you also remember to keep swimming up in the air of possibilities.
Good morning, and please be seated. Welcome to the 174th Commencement of Knox College. My name is Laura Rosen. I'm a class of 1990 alumna and a Knox trustee. It is my pleasure this morning to continue a Knox tradition of reflecting back 100 years ago to our 74th commencement in June 1919. Let's picture our class of 1919 predecessors and what was happening in their lives. The class of 1919 was profoundly impacted by the First World War, which the U.S. had entered 2 years earlier to make the world safe for democracy. Many Knox men volunteered for military service. All the Knox women and the remaining men on campus volunteered with the Red Cross war relief efforts. Soon, the campus lawn was dug into foxholes for practicing trench warfare as the men moved into barracks in the gym and had 2 hours of military training every morning. All the students were required to take War Aims, which was a 3-hour-a-week class dedicated to considering the problems of the war. We can imagine, though, that our class of 1919 were considering the war much more than those 3 hours a week. In November of their senior year, the armistice was declared, and they celebrated the war's end. In all, 660 Knox men served in the World War I armed forces, 16 students and 1 faculty member were killed in service. And even with the peace, many of the men of the class of 1919 would not return home from service in time to graduate. So with this backdrop, Knox's 74th commencement was styled the Victory Commencement. And it strikes me that the events encompass the anticipated merriment and celebration, and yet great solemnity. The graduation festivities that year spanned 4 days, starting Saturday with boating contests, a water carnival, and a seniors versus faculty baseball game, won handily 14-3 by the seniors. On Sunday, there followed baccalaureate and a memorial service. Then on Monday morning, the class of 1919 dedicated the memorial flagstaff bearing the names of the Knox dead in the World War, because they didn't conceive that so soon there could be a second one. That flagstaff still stands today on the north side of Old Main, and you may wish to stop and see it before you leave campus today. Then Monday evening, commencement eve, returned to merriment. They didn't get fireworks, but they had a senior class play, which it was reported kept the audience in suspense or laughter most of the evening. Then, at 10 o'clock Tuesday morning, commencement began. 6 students, 3 men, 3 women, delivered addresses. Their topics included the Franco-American friendship, defeat and destiny, the task of democracy, and a dream come true. In an environment of world-altering challenges, these Knox graduates' resilience and commitment to service to their ideals held true. As we leave our 100-year-ago graduates, I will share one other commencement thought from then Knox President James McConaughey. He declared that, quote, "The college has failed if it has not prepared its young men and women to appreciate the glory which lies in service that is not actually required." At that, our college does not fail. Service beyond self is an enduring value of Knox College, and it takes many forms then and now. We too live in a time of world-altering challenges. So class of 2019, we congratulate you today, and we wish for you that glory which lies in service to your ideals. Thank you.
The song we are about to sing was written in honor of those who have suffered from violence and injustice, and in hope for a better future.
Welcome to the 174th Commencement Proceedings of Knox College. My name is Teresa Amat. It is my privilege and my honor to serve this fine institution as Knox's 19th president. For 174 years, families and friends of the graduates have made the journey to Galesburg to witness the moment at which their special graduate walked across the stage to receive a college degree. This moment has been made possible by the entire Knox community, our distinguished faculty, our remarkable and dedicated staff, and the 16,000 living alumni who support the college through their donations and their time. Among these many special people who have cared for you during these years, let us take a moment now to especially recognize and thank the campus safety, facilities, and dining service workers who made this campus a beautiful and welcoming place every day, undeterred by rain or snow or predatory gnats. Thank you, wonderful Knox staff. Graduates, you are joined in celebration today by all the faculty and the staff and by families and friends. Let's have a shout out to them. Come on, loud. All right. Honorary degrees upon the recipients selected by the Board of Trustees for this 174th commencement. Knox College awarded its first honorary doctorate to Abraham Lincoln in 1860. Yeah, pretty good. And in a letter to Mr. Lincoln, then Knox trustee Orville Browning assured him that Knox is destined to become one of the most useful colleges in the land. And in after time, it will be no discredit to you that you received your degree at her hands. And Mr. Browning's prediction came true. We did indeed become one of the most useful colleges in the land, and we have continued that tradition of awarding degrees to individuals of great distinction. And by selecting these individuals of demonstrated merit for recognition with honorary doctorates, the Board of Trustees invites them into an enduring relationship with Knox College. The degrees carry the full weight of the history, tradition, and values of this college. They are conferred with care and with deep respect for those whose lives and deeds we are privileged to honor today. Assistant Professor McCarthy Foubert will present the first candidate for an honorary degree, a former teacher of hers. We need our hooders. Hooders up. Good. Okay. There we go. Loud.
Okay. President Amat, I'm honored to present Gloria J. Ladson-Billings, renowned pedagogical theorist and president of the National Academy of Education, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Consistently regarded as one of the top education scholars in the world, Gloria Ladson-Billings has pursued research that examines sociocultural issues in the classroom. Dr. Ladson-Billings developed the theory of culturally relevant pedagogy, which, as she described in a research paper, not only addresses student achievement, but also helps students to accept and affirm their cultural identity while developing critical perspectives that challenge inequities that schools and other institutions perpetuate. With colleague William Tate, Dr. Ladson-Billings also has done pioneering work in applying critical race theory to education. Her more recent research explores hip-hop as a culturally relevant pedagogical strategy. In 1995, she became the first Black woman to receive tenure at the University of Wisconsin-Madison School of Education. Now, now a professor emerita, she is the former Kellner Family Distinguished Professor of Urban Education at UW-Madison's Department of Curriculum and Instruction. She's the author of 3 critically acclaimed books: The Dream Keepers, Successful Teachers of African American Children; Crossing Over to Canaan, The Journey of New Teachers in Diverse Schools; and Beyond the Big House, African American Educators on Teacher Education. She has edited 8 other books and written more than 100 journal articles and book chapters. Dr. Ladson-Billings was the 2005-2006 president of the American Educational Research Association, AERA, and is the former editor of the American Educational Research Journal. She also has served as a fellow at the Center for Advanced Study in the Behavioral Sciences at Stanford University. Dr. Ladson-Billings currently is serving a 4-year term as president of the National Academy of Education, which supports research for the advancement of educational policy and practice in the United States. During her career, she has influenced and advised numerous students, and many have incorporated her teachings into their own work as educators. Shortly before Dr. Ladson-Billings gave a recent talk at UW-Madison, a screen displayed words of appreciation from former students and others who have been inspired by her. Here's just one of those submissions. Gloria, your voice of reason, inclusiveness, and humanity resonates in my mind and hopefully has been passed on to my own students. Her work has won numerous scholarly awards, including the H.I. Roms Faculty Fellowship, the N.A.E. Spencer Postdoctoral Fellowship, and the Palmer O. Johnson Outstanding Research Award. She received the George and Louise Spindler Award from the Council on Anthropology and Education for significant and ongoing contributions to the field of educational anthropology. Dr. Ladson-Billings is a 2018 recipient of the AERA Distinguished Research Award, and she was elected to the American Academy of Arts and Sciences in 2018. President Amat, in recognition of her commitment to culturally relevant teaching and contributions to educational research, I present Gloria J. Ladson-Billings for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
By the authority of the General Assembly of the State of Illinois, vested in the Board of Trustees of Knox College, and by them delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the privileges, honors, and dignities which here and elsewhere pertain to that degree. Put in. Ready? Put. You don't have the hood? You got it already. Sorry. I'm so out. Here we go. Associate Professor Nikki Malley will present the second candidate for an honorary degree.
President Amat, I am honored to present Matthew Edward Wilson, musician and educator, for the degree of Doctor of Arts. Matthew Edward Wilson is a native of Knoxville, Illinois, and a New York-based jazz musician who has released 13 albums as a band leader. He has appeared on more than 400 additional albums as a sideman, and he has performed with some of the greatest names in jazz, including, but not limited to, Herbie Hancock, Diane Reeves, Wynton Marsalis, Pat Metheny, Joanne Brackeen, and Charlie Hayden. Wilson, a drummer, is one of the most in-demand players and educators on the modern jazz scene. He embodies the spontaneous energy of jazz, combining buoyant zeal, idiosyncratic style, infectious humor, joyous swing, and an indomitable spirit of surprise. He leads many distinctive ensembles, including the Matt Wilson Quartet, Arts and Crafts, Honey and Salt, Big Happy Family, Topsy Turvy, and the Christmas Tree O. He has led workshops and master classes around the world and is a faculty member at the New School, SUNY Purchase, San Francisco Conservatory, Sarah Lawrence College, and Prince Claus Conservatory in Groningen, Holland. Wilson fosters a lively and passionate connection between music and people, both fellow performers and listeners in an audience. He inspires young musicians to embrace their individuality. He works to bring jazz to new audiences. He curates the Jazz on Stage series at Long Island's Tillis Center for the Performing Arts, where he brings listeners up on stage with the artists. He hosts Playdate with Matt Wilson on New York jazz radio station WBGO. He has earned various accolades for his work, including a Grammy nomination in 2011. He won Drummer of the Year honors in the Jazz Journalists Association Awards twice, topped the Rising Star Drummer category in Downbeat's Critics Poll for 5 consecutive years, and was named the Hot House NYC Jazz Awards Fans Drummer of the Year in 2015, and was inducted into the Wichita State University College of Fine Arts Hall of Fame in 2016. He was named 2018 Musician of the Year by the Jazz Journalists Association, and his album, Honey and Salt, music inspired by the poetry of Carl Sandburg, won the association's Album of the Year award. Wilson's musical talents and personal warmth and humor have earned him respect and appreciation among his elders, peers, students, and others whose paths have crossed with his. Music critic Nate Chinen wrote this about Wilson in Jazz Times. Quote, "There are few more emphatically dazzling drummers working today, but almost nobody in Wilson's peer group with a broader sense of jazz history, or a more natural sense of time, or a stronger signature as a band leader, or more goodwill among his fellow players." In recognition of his dedication to sharing his love of music, especially jazz, with people across the globe, I present Matthew Edward Wilson for the degree of Doctor of Arts.
By the authority delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Arts honoris causa, with all the privileges, honors, and dignities which here and elsewhere pertain to that degree. Professor Lawrence Welch will present the third candidate for an honorary degree.
President Amat, I am honored to present Bridget C. Coughlin, President and Chief Executive Officer of Shedd Aquarium, for the degree of Doctor of Science. Bridget C. Coughlin leads Shedd Aquarium, Chicago's most visited cultural attraction, and a national leader in animal care, conservation education, and marine research. A nature lover and a scientist at heart, she has been at the forefront of developing innovative experiences that educate and engage the public about aquatic animals and their habitats. She is an advocate for access on multiple fronts, committing Shedd Aquarium to offering tens of millions of dollars in free admission each year, championing a variety of learning styles and approaches, and serving as a voice for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the business world. She ensures that Shedd works with community organizations in Chicago and throughout Illinois to provide affordable access, support charitable causes, and reach out to educate the public. Before joining Shedd in 2016, Dr. Coughlin served as Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and adjunct curator at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, where she was responsible for education, programs, external partnerships, membership, and fundraising. She led the creation of the museum's health exhibit, which received the Association of Science Technology Center's Leading Edge Award for visitor experience. Dr. Coughlin previously worked at the National Academy of Sciences, where she was managing editor of the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. She is a talented researcher who has led teams funded by the National Institutes of Health and the Howard Hughes Medical Institute studying infectious disease. She also was part of an international team at Woods Hole Marine Biological Laboratory that completed a research project on genetics. As a founding member of the Aquarium Conservation Partnership, ACP, Dr. Coughlin is playing a key role in the organization's work to reduce global plastic waste and to advance the protection of marine sanctuaries. In 2017, she was a member of the U.S. delegation to the Our Ocean Conference in Malta, where she represented 19 U.S. aquariums in the commitment to ultimately eliminate the use of single-use plastics across their business operations. Earlier this year, Shedd and other ACP aquariums committed to business practices that will bring their facilities closer to eliminating all single-use plastic materials. For example, Shedd is committed to ensuring that all dining area tableware, including plates, cups, and utensils, is single-use plastic-free by 2021. She is a member of the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums and the Museums in the Park Consortium, and she serves on the boards of After School Matters, Mind Spark Learning in Denver, Colorado, and the Alaska Sea Life Center. Dr. Coughlin graduated from Knox College in 1994 with a self-designed degree in biochemistry. She earned a PhD in biochemistry from the University of Iowa and received an executive MBA certificate from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. She has been selected as a recipient of the Knox College Alumni Achievement Award. Dr. Coughlin skillfully manages multiple roles as scientist, CEO, educator, and advocate. President Amat, in recognition of her commitment to conservation and education and her accomplishments in research, I present Bridget C. Coughlin for the degree of Doctor of Science.
By the authority delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa with all the privileges, honors, and dignities which here and elsewhere pertain to that degree.
Good morning. Thank you for that very warm introduction. I am absolutely overcome with gratitude and joy. Those are my two overwhelming emotions right now. And it started last night because while you were all watching fireworks, I was watching you. And you were holding hands and taking pictures and anticipating this moment right now. Okay, not this moment, my speech, but this moment, graduation and getting your diplomas. Thank you, President Amat, Professor Welch, trustees of Knox College, faculty, staff. It is a true honor to be here. I think about the symbolism, by the way, of those fireworks. You know, fireworks are just little bundles of potassium nitrate and some other things with a fuse, and you infuse energy and heat, and pow, they light up the world and make it brighter and better, not unlike these fuse-like tassels you all have on your head. Last night, my fellow honorary recipients and I had dinner together, and I had the privilege of hearing Matt Wilson create blasphemy by playing drums in Seymour Library. And Matt ended his piece with this incredible drum decrescendo.
And it sounded like the drums were getting quieter because it was being like absorbed into our soul. I have never heard a drum whisperer like Matt Wilson, and now I get to be affiliated with you. And that is indeed the honor. Gloria Ladson-Billings was at my table. She is brilliant, has a very sharp wit. And Gloria, I hope that that dinner was just one of many times we get to break bread together. This honorary degree is both incredibly special, to be recognized by people and an institution that you hold in such high esteem is truly remarkable. It is also profoundly confusing, because my last degree at Knox College took 4 years, countless hours studying at Seymour Library. I had to put up with an absolutely insufferable pre-med lab partner and pay over $100,000 in tuition, scholarships, and student loans, and this degree cost me a tank of gas and a 3-hour drive from Chicago. So had I known, Professor Amat, that there was this alternative degree path in Knox College, I may have chosen differently. I want to thank Professor Welsh. He was my freshman advisor in post 4 when I came. He taught me chemistry, unleashed my love of the topic, and has so graciously welcomed me back. So thank you, Professor Welch. And a particular thank you to my new friend, President Ahmad. She's a very strategic leader. You see, first, they gave me an Alumni Award to make sure I did indeed turn out okay, and to make sure I could give a halfway decent acceptance speech. Then they fed me dinner and poured me a nice tall glass of white wine. And President Amat said, "So what are you doing, say, I don't know, Sunday, June 2nd around 10 a.m.? And hoping that she was fishing for a commencement speaker and not asking me out for a movie matinee, I enthusiastically said yes. Because I, in that invitation to be your commencement speaker, get to be part of your day. Or as my mom, Mary Helen, would say, a big deal day. We cannot go any further on this big deal day without a hearty, loud congratulations to the Knox College 2019 graduating class. Woo! You all look great. Each and every one of the 301 of you. And families and friends who are literally surrounding you, let's give it up for the family and friends who supported you along the way. You look good too. Today, I suspect, will make one of the top hallmark, impactful days of your life. As President Amat said, I am a proud graduate of Knox College, former resident of Post 4, and for a time, record holder of the most grilled cheese eaten at the Gizmo. I learned a lot here at Knox, like I'm sure you did. It's where I switched my major from theater to biochemistry. I scored some very good grades and some okay grades. I still contest that I do not remember registering for Spanish 301. Here, I did a senior thesis project which stretched me to the point of being incredibly uncomfortable, and yet I still hold as one of the most gratifying, satisfying projects in my career. Here, I grew socially, had my first legal drink at Cherry Street, and I gained the work stamina, but more importantly, the moxie to, as a 19-year-old, walk into an esteemed professor's office for office hours, without particularly understanding that I had to have the agenda ready and something to do. And here I learned how to prepare for an interview after a colossal failure at trying to interview to be one of the student dorm leaders. One of many jobs I did not get. Here I played soccer with students from Ghana and India, countries I have not yet been deep into my 40s but still plan on going to. And here I discovered my competitive DNA during flunk day and Frisbee golf. So riddle me this. If ping pong and being pulled by a horse around a frozen lake can be Olympic sports, why not Frisbee golf? And I continue to lobby the IOC to get it into the fold, much like I did when at Knox College. To be serious for a moment, I want to put something out there. This is for the graduates as well as anyone here. The cost of all these experiences, academic and otherwise, has gone up considerably. Tuition at colleges during your lifetime has gone up over 500%, all colleges. To put that in context, the United States stock market went up less than half that, only around 200%. And I am speaking, by the way, the cost of liberal arts colleges with some degree of familiarity. You see, my older brother went to Grinnell College in Iowa. My sister went to Carleton College in Minnesota. We all grew up in Colorado, and yet my parents just boldly smiled and said they kept sending their children and their retirement savings, disguised as tuition, to the Midwest for a great liberal arts education. It takes an entire financial, robust ecosystem to get here. Scholarships, work study, student loans, tuition. And indeed, the cost of education has gone up rapidly and perhaps exponentially. And yet I would argue to my very fiber that while the cost has gone up, so too has the value of the degree you're about to receive. And it is not, and I even think the faculty would agree with this, it is not the value of your newly acquired knowledge, the fact that you know some quotes from Voltaire. The value is in two totally unrelated things. One, not what you have learned, but with whom you have learned it. And two, that you now have a habit of being habitually curious. I certainly found that true when I embarked on my time at Shedd Aquarium. First, let's explore the with whom you have learned on your Knox College journey. It was my liberal arts days that I made some deeply connected connections. So just soon-to-be graduates, indulge me for a minute, even though it is very warm in here. Look to your left, look to your right. You have permission to crane your neck, look for your friends behind you and in front of you. Find the person with whom you were quarantined during the polar vortex, created inside. Oh, there's quite a lot of laughter. Not sure what happened on campus during those days. These friendships, these with whom you are sitting today, sweating together in your dark Darth Vader-like robes, have meant a lot to you, and they will be by your side long after you leave campus, regardless of what your journey is. Now, not everyone is going to be a lifelong friend. Some may simply pop up on your social media feed now and again, be the 1,000th like of an amusing picture you post or a very clever meme. But others with you are going to be by your side through future hallmark, impactful days. The marriage to a best friend, the birth or adoption of your children, your first big career promotion, heck, your first job. You know who you are. Your publication of your first novel, your first home purchase, the people with you are going to help you move into your 15th apartment. And at that point, you will need to pay them more than beer and pizza. They will be with you when you shave your ridiculous-looking beard or when you grow a new one. They will be by your side when you feel discouraged, lose loved ones, and find new loved ones on life's journey. When I landed the job at Shedd Aquarium and was named their leader in both title and in expectation, a $62 million operating budget, 600 employees, staff in the Bahamas, Canada, Alaska, and Chicago, I called my husband first, my mom second, and my freshman roommate, Gabby, third. And it would not necessarily predicted that my relationship with Gabby would have endured or persisted beyond graduation day, but indeed, quality connections persist. And from what I saw when you chuckled about the polar vortex comment, you have made some pretty amazing quality connections. Another with whom we cannot forget the faculty, coaches, and student advisors, the professor Who is the professor? Don't point, just look. Who is the professor whose office hours you always meant to take advantage of? And who is the professor who you enjoyed so much, you took every single one of their classes, regardless of the topic, or if it was at 9 a.m. on a Monday? Who was the coach that made you feel like you were Olympic bound, even though, let's be honest, in your heart of hearts, you know you're more like Waterboy and Adam Sandler? And who, in turn, did you do this for? The people here at Knox College thrived on your intellectual curiosity. They relished your discoveries. They supported you so you could flourish on your own. They had your back. And sometimes you might not have even known they had your back because they're in the back. And they wanted you to keep looking forward. I hope for you. I hope that you are so lucky to have future bosses, mentors, and colleagues who do the same. Seek them out, but more importantly, be one of them in turn. Now, parents and friends, I cannot forget about you. The reason I said you looked so great is from what I can see, no one here looks too green in the gills from the emotional roller coaster that comes with graduation. Today is a nexus in your child's life, the next step from childhood to fully launched adulthood. It seems like only yesterday you were both simultaneously confusing them by handing them their first smartphone and then lecturing them about appropriate amounts of screen time. Just a little while ago, you were giving them a curfew. And now, when they move back in with you tomorrow, this is all renegotiated. And winning arguments with them is a lot harder now. After all, they have a degree from a place where there was a Lincoln Douglas debate. And they all aced their essay in Professor Lane Sunderland's course on writing persuasive arguments. Parents, you do not stand a chance. So, you soon Knox College alumni, your fellow graduates, professors, mentors, coaches, all are part of the with whom you have had your educational journey. Here's the bleeding obvious, annoying advice from your commencement speaker. As you leave campus, surround yourself with good people, and remember the with whom you choose to explore is as, if not more important, as what you explore. We are in the age of where with whom matters. Some commencement speakers talk about the job market or dreaming big. But I am talking to you about how you are leaving a group of 301 people with a bigger world and an age of with whom. If you look at the front page of the Chicago Tribune, the news is all about the with whom. With whom we will trade or decide to have tariffs. With whom will we let into this country to participate with us in the American dream? With the exception of last Friday when the cover was about the recreational approval in Illinois of marijuana. But otherwise, you're stepping into a with whom environment. So be, please, intentional about it, because we need you to be intentional about it. Here's the humbling thing. In nature, fish have already figured out this with whom matters. There's this mighty pilchard fish. It's a 4-inch silver beauty, and on its own, it is incredibly strong, and yet the ocean is vast and complex. And so the pilchard fish makes its collective success by focusing on each other. First, they swim constantly, never stop moving. But they also do something that's called emergence, this amazing biological geometry that while they swim, they can go from a shoal, an unorganized group of fish, to a school, by paying attention and never getting too close, nor never too far from the next pilchard fish. And doing this, they are arranged in a mighty swarm that can evade a shark or an even larger predator. By choosing with whom they swim, they feel and literally are bigger than they are as individuals. It's a good life lesson. Keep moving, stick together, and you will be bigger, you will be more. What's interesting is that in that school, no fish is the leader. The followers are following the follower, and to be biblical, the servants are serving the server. At Knox, your group of fish or your shoal has been curated for you slightly, partly by your circumstances, your choices, but also by admission tests and application essays and Knox College enrollment officers. Now, after graduation, you get to pick with whom you will school, who you'll pick socially, professionally. Again, you are leaving a campus and you are a collective of 301 now, and we welcome you into the world of 7.7 billion people. Let's talk about one of the most healthy habits that you now have that I believe you uniquely acquire at a liberal arts college. The value of your degree is because of your habit of being curious. All the learning I experienced at Knox, curricular with my genetics and extracurricular with Frisbee golf, didn't matter. It was the intercurricular that trained me. It trained me in a degree that I believe you have. Now, you are all incredibly diverse. You come from 31 nations. You have enrolled in 70 different majors, and I counted that Knox College has over 100 sanctioned clubs. I am not sure, parents, how much studying actually got done. But whether you are in the Tritones or the Nerf Club, every single one of you that is about to commence, walk across the stage, are not getting a degree, but in many ways the same degree. A degree in habitual, curious learning. Not your BA, and there is no BS, but rather your HCL. This type of curious learning is a healthy habit of keeping an open mind, of continually asking annoying questions like a 2-year-old. Why? Why not? What if? And it is through iterating these questions that you will help us solve some of our biggest challenges on this blue planet. I have dedicated my passion and my career to conservation of this blue marble we call home. In fact, if you think about it, if humans would have named this planet by looking back on it from space, we would have named it water, not Earth. It is 70% aquatic, and only 2.5% of that is fresh water. And our fresh, salt, and estuary waterways are precious, connected, and in peril. So, how will you habitual curious learners help protect them? Think about the coral reefs. We have lost 20% of our coral reefs, which, by the way, are responsible with the phytoplankton that they keep alive for half the air you breathe. If you do not want to save the coral reef, just breathe half as often and you'll be fine. Well, sort of. But curious minds, ones that I have the privilege of working with, are asking, why do some coral die and others persist despite warming and more acidic waters? How are the surviving corals' DNA different? Curious minds ask, why not? Why not change international laws to secure new funding for coral restoration? And they ask, what if? What if we work to repopulate aquatic coral animals, much as we have done in the forest after a natural disaster? Curious minds, your minds, will save and restore our oceans, our lakes, and our planet. And these are indeed enormous challenges, yet curious learners who care about the with whom they work iterate solutions, and so real solutions that seem absolutely overwhelming are absolutely possible. We humans with liberal arts degrees are not the only ones who are curious seekers, and by now there are lots of examples in nature, and you figured out I'm kind of stuck on marine life. In unknown and familiar environments, the octopus continues to explore. They continuously taste and sample their environment. They are never, ever satisfied with the familiar. They're constantly seeking out, exploring new ways to interpret their environment. Knox College for you has become the familiar. It is time to be like the octopus and seek a new environment. Now, just because you are leaving today and you will no longer have to work with that insufferable pre-med lab partner, don't leave behind your new habit of curious learning. Some of my favorite memories at Knox are ones that I didn't know I had at the time, but in retrospect, remember warmly. Long trips on a white van from soccer field to soccer field. Students that have recently discovered me. It is amazing how many alumni reach out to you after you become commencement speaker. These long trips on the soccer field, to the soccer fields, as well as requests on LinkedIn, have reminded me what I hope you may put in your heart and remember. Don't lose this, all of this, including the polar vortex memories, when you leave it. This is a singular moment in your life. It is the nexus to the next great thing, and it doesn't matter if you don't know what it is. And if you do know what it is, it's probably wrong and not exactly what you will do. Because on my graduation day, I had no inkling to become a CEO of an aquarium. But I loved nature and getting my fingernails dirty, and I picked the right shoal of people to school with. And I kept asking, what if and why not? So the world is ready for you and needs you, and I think it's about 20 degrees cooler outside of this gym. But there's gnats. So in closing, with your Knox College degree in hand, with love from your friends and family in your heart, and with an open and curious mind, remember this moment. Go out and help the blue planet. And congratulations to the 2019 class on your degrees in habitual curious learning. Well done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Coughlin. Professor Frederick Hord will present the Presidential Award for Faculty Excellence.
The Presidential Award for Faculty Excellence is awarded each year by the Faculty Personnel Committee from among faculty members who have been nominated by their colleagues as exceptional with respect to their contributions in the area of teaching, scholarship, and service to the college. This year's recipient comes from a department whose discipline has been taught at Knox since its founding, and who has also actively participated in the development and approval of the newest departmental major. This recipient has had a long connection with Knox as not only a faculty member since 1986, but also as a Knox College alum and as the parent of a Knox College alum. This recipient is popular in the classroom. According to one student, he is exactly what you want in a college teacher. He knows his stuff extremely well. He is involved in campus life, and he cares about students. You'll be surprised by the amount of writing in his classes, but it really helps you to understand and apply what you're learning. He is open-minded and always solicits student opinion about his courses. This recipient is also active in scholarship. He has regularly published in his discipline, also made conference presentations, both in that discipline and in conference panels regarding a variety of issues in higher education, such as assessing liberal art or liberal education goals and assessment of majors and minors. During his time at Knox, this recipient has distinguished himself by authoring 4 major textbooks in his field. This year's recipient especially stands out among his peers in the area of service to Knox. His contributions in faculty meetings and committee meetings are invariably cogent, thoughtful, and respectful. When he stands up to speak, the faculty listen. He has served to great effect on elective committees, including the executive committee. He has chaired the curriculum committee and the assessment subcommittee, and has served effectively and enthusiastically on numerous other regular and ad hoc committees. Finally, and most notably, this year's recipient has served with extreme distinction for 2 separate terms as Registrar of Knox College. I am pleased to present this year's recipient of the President's Award for Faculty Excellence from the Department of Mathematics, Professor Kevin Hastings.
This year's student speaker is Rachel Watson from Downers Grove, Illinois. Rachel majored in political science and minored in American studies, serving as president of the Political Science Honor Society Pi Sigma Alpha. Rachel has been a prolific leader on campus as a student senator, president of the Knox Quiz Bowl team, and co-host of the WVKC radio show Monochromatic Beige Entrees. She organized and participated in various stand-up comedy performances on campus, and most recently opened for comedian Marina Franklin. Rachel has also been actively involved in the Knox Student, the campus newspaper, serving as social media manager and originator of the investigative documentary series TKS Uncovered. Last summer, Rachel was awarded the Richter and Hirsch-Zucker grants for her internship at the National Organization for Women in New York City. After graduation, Rachel hopes to work in nonprofit advocacy focusing on women's rights. It's my pleasure to introduce Rachel Watson.
First of all, I would like to extend my deepest thanks to my classmates for selecting me for this honor. I know that there are more people running for this than there are currently Democrats running for president, and I cannot express how much this means to me, so thank you. I'm here today to try to somehow capture the last 4 years we've spent at Knox, the feelings that we're experiencing now, and to provide some sort of uplifting message for the future. That's a lot to tackle in the 5 minutes that have been allotted to me, and I've already been warned that if I go over my time, a trap door will open that I will fall into, and I will be charged for next year's tuition. That being said, I'm going to try to go as fast as I can to cover those 3 topics, starting with a reflection on the present. Just a warning, I did write this speech a few weeks ago, so forgive me if anything is outdated. As I stand here today and look around me, things are really put in perspective. Surrounded by the open sky, the shining sun, and the gorgeous grass at our feet, the historic old main building behind me. There is truly no other place that I could even fathom holding an event as great as this than right here on the South Lawn. It's an honor to be on stage right now with Bridget Coughlin, CEO and president of the Shedd Aquarium, who was chosen by our selection committee, which we all know is made up of the bones of the whale skeleton hanging in smack. And it's an honor to be in front of you, my fellow graduates. Today is a big day for all of us. It is the result of a lot of hard work, stressful nights, and midnight breakfasts. It's a day to forget about the uncertainty of the future and embrace how far we've already come. It's easy to get ahead of ourselves and worry about what's next, but I want to take a moment and reflect on where we are now. We're feeling a lot of different things right now: excitement, nervousness, sadness. Some of you might not be feeling much at all and just want the ceremony to be over with so you can eat that chicken wrap and single sugar cookie that you paid $10 for at the post-graduation picnic. But what we've accomplished here today is no small feat. Less than 7% of people in the world have a college degree, and we're about to join that percentage. Whether or not we feel like that's a big deal, it is. I know personally how easy it is to overlook your own accomplishments, but I want to remind you that right now we are all achieving something great. Something that a large majority of people in this world will never have a chance to do. Today represents years of hard work, your hard work. I know that graduation is intimidating. There's a whole world of challenges waiting for us that we're going to have to face, but it's important to remember those that we've already dealt with and have become stronger because of. We made it through the Knox Maggot, the fact that our mascot was almost named Ember, and if you lived in Williston, you made it through a fire alarm at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, and 1 a.m. We've had to deal with walking past a burst steam pipe on our way to class that made it look like the ground joined Sig Chi and started vaping. We survived our freshman year when the phrases man in gorilla suit and the Knox puncher were both very real things we had to look out for. And the dark days when we no longer had chicken tenders at brunch. Each of us has also had our own personal struggles that we've gone through during our time here. It hasn't been easy, but just like those end-of-term course evaluation emails, we didn't give up. All of us are about to go down different paths in our lives after today. My one real piece of advice is that whatever path you take, make sure that you do something, no matter how small, that you're able to take pride in. This is as much of a reminder for you as for me, because looking back at my past 4 years here, it isn't the academics that I want to remember. Though if there are any admitted students in the audience today, the 11-to-1 student-faculty ratio, and with 77.2% of classes having less than 20 students in it, Knox is really able to meet my needs as an individual learner. But in all seriousness, that's not what I hope to remember. It's the things that I'm proud about. Yes, I'm proud of my degree, but I'm also proud of the friends that I made, the impact on their lives that I've had, the clubs that I've been a part of, and the overall really incredible opportunities that I've had outside of the classroom. So find something that you're proud of, that thing that in 20 years you'll want to remember as doing after college. And I know, statistically, that for some of you, the thing that you will choose to find pride in is what is called a pyramid scheme. And if that is the case, please do not Facebook message me in 2 years asking if I want to be a Tier 1 supporter of NutriBoom, because I do not. As I end this speech, I want to ask a favor of all of you, and that is take time in your life to find something, anything that you're proud of, and put effort into that thing. It can be a hobby, a job, a relationship. It can be moderating a college campus meme page. But whatever it is, make time for it and make it a priority in your life. Because from my very limited experience, that is how we make a difference in this world. By finding something that we care about, something that we're proud to put our name on, and embracing it. Thank you again for allowing me the honor of speaking, and please tell any wealthy relatives you have here to add me on LinkedIn. Thank you.
We now move to the awarding of the degrees and that moment when the graduates walk across the stage to receive their diplomas. I know you are all excited about this moment, as are we. So please feel free, family and friends, to move about and take photos. But do be considerate of others to avoid their view and lingering in one place for a half an hour. All right.
President, faculty, will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise and remain standing?
Graduates of the college, You have successfully completed the course of study prescribed by the faculty and by the authority of the General Assembly of the State of Illinois, vested in the Board of Trustees of Knox College, and by them delegated to me. I hereby confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts with all the privileges, honors, and dignities which here and elsewhere pertain to that degree. Okay.
You may be seated. President Amat, I have the honor to present to you the members of the class of 2019 who have completed the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science and who have been recommended to you by the faculty. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise and remain standing?
You are the first class in the recent history of Knox College to receive a Bachelor of Science degree. We are very proud of you. Graduates of the college, you have successfully completed the course of study prescribed by the faculty and by the authority of the General Assembly of the State of Illinois, vested in the Board of Trustees of Knox College, and by them delegated to me. I hereby confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science, with all the privileges, honors, and dignities which here and elsewhere pertain to that degree.
You may be seated. As the graduates present themselves for their diplomas, I will cite those who are graduating with honors. And we ask that the audience please refrain from applause until all of the graduates have received their diplomas. Eli Adams, cum laude. Farzana Mushtaq Ahmed, cum laude. Alec Arapatian. Josh Altoff, summa cum laude, honors in history. Dolores Korkor Aminar, summa cum laude. Porva Anand, cum laude. Jordan Bradley Anderson, magna cum laude. Michaela Diane Anderson. Kiana Celsa Arango. Sara Arias. Grace Arkfeld, cum laude. Samantha Arlene Arez. Chilembwe Dejasi Asante. Stephanie Narisa Austin. Alec Maurice Austin. Ananda Nibiat Leona Badili. Marcus Barboza, cum laude, honors in biology. Zachary Siv Barnes, magna cum laude. Karen Viviana Barragan Perea, cum laude. Jack Barreca. James Nicholas Barrington. Spencer Damian Bauer, cum laude. Bryce Cameron Beal, magna cum laude. Jessica Diane Beckman. Elizabeth Marie Bell. Justin Bell. Aziza Bensi Enchel, magna cum laude. Evan Edwards Berkey, magna cum laude. Phoebe Eliza Billups. Seville Santoro Bloxam, summa cum laude. Andrew James Booker, cum laude. Alexandra Erica Rook. Shannon Marie Brooks, magna cum laude. Jacob Jeffrey Brown, cum laude. Kaylee Dawn Bruns. Samantha Isabel Burgess, summa cum laude. Mohamed Nasir Butt. Sally Ann Butzer, magna cum laude. Eliza Michelle Canales. Shoshana Celine Cargis. Diego Carmona. Rodrigo Carvalho, cum laude. Cassandra Lynn Castaneda, cum laude. Julieta Belin Cervantes. Lillian Grace Chamberlain, cum laude. Cara Claire Chung. Suk Hyun Cho. Sarah Choi. Samuel Herschel Cohen. Mia Lene Connor. Elizabetta Croce, magna cum laude. Kira Crook, magna cum laude. Ni Hong Lin Kung, cum laude. Ryland Bourne Kurtzinger, magna cum laude. Jonathan Demota. Phuong Pam Deng, magna cum laude. Sierra Rose Daniger, magna cum laude, honors in biochemistry. Stryker James Davies. Merrill Yen Davis, magna cum laude. Melissa De La Riva. Jack Lucas Deco, cum laude. Rebecca Nicole DeSoma, summa cum laude. Megan Rhiannon Dorsey, magna cum laude. Gavin Brooks Douglas. Serena Maria Lopez Dow, cum laude. Brittany Ajanlee Downer. Maria Francesca Downs. Courtney Louise Dram, cum laude. Peter Chamberlain Driscoll. Patricia Louise Duke, cum laude. Justin Dunn. Evan Economist, cum laude. Tess Elkins. Jacob Elliott, cum laude. Danielle Ellis II. Talia Dejonde Ellis. Jennifer Earl, magna cum laude, honors in modern languages. Aaliyah Estes. Karen Elaine Canelin Evans. Amber Fang, cum laude. Duncan Finch, cum laude. Sonia Grace Fleming, cum laude. Jesus Flores. Paulina Florova. Jonathan Alexander Flegel. Macy Joe Fox. Samuel Alexander Fredrickson, magna cum laude. Edward Calvin Freeman. Sydney Michelle Fretwell. Annalinda Friedberg. Talia Elise Frost, cum laude. Alexander Carlo Gallo. Carmen Alicia Garcia. Megan Enya Gaynor, magna cum laude. Hallie Callan Garage, magna cum laude. Annie Lynn Gertis. Carolyn Ginder, cum laude. Catherine Goldstone Hirsch. Adeline Catherine Gomez. Charles Gomez Albaran, in memoriam. Accepting on his behalf, Jonathan Gomez Albaran. Graham Ellis Gover. Zachary Elijah Gregory. Riley Grossman. Plautilla Guatelli, magna cum laude. Lydia Ha, cum laude. Natalie Elizabeth Haddad. Benjamin Paul Hartall. Emily May Hagarat, magna cum laude. Malik Hamilton, cum laude. Elizabeth Carol Hastings, cum laude. Kirsten Ann Hedrick, cum laude. Leslie Yunwei Hernandez. Samuel Hernandez, cum laude. Olivia Jacqueline Herman, magna cum laude. Alexander Powell Heston. Joseph Edward Hilger, summa cum laude, honors in biochemistry. Andrew Peter Hine. Logan James Hollis. Martin Emmanuel Hope. Jeremiah Oluwatumininu Horton. Jim Hong. Elena Maria Yatrupoulou Banat. Samantha Marie Jacobson. Diamond Aaliyah Jelani, cum laude. Sharita Monique Jenkins. Deja Janae Jenkins. Ali Jung, magna cum laude. Beatrice Jimenez. Van Everett Johnson III. Sasha Johnson, cum laude. Jessely Molly Joseph, magna cum laude. Agaman KC. Lauren K. Koltenecker. Errol Brand Kaler, honors in computer science. Alexis Jane Kellogg, magna cum laude. Zara Khan. Sandy Kong. Sujin Jenny Kim. Hannah Marie King. Megan Patricia Kolak, cum laude. Pebulunana Koroye. Patricia Kuczynski, cum laude. Lindsay Allison Oting Kui, cum laude. Kwadwo Che. Robert James Lalke, magna cum laude. Benjamin Lambert. Kristen Latham. Jenny Lau. Amanda Hawk Lay, cum laude. Meng Lei. Alice Hui Lee. Hannah Rose Lee, cum laude. Olivia Margaret Lemke. Jeffrey Leon. Hannah June Marie Lewis. Karina Giovanna Leva. Nellie Lang. Maria del Carmen Lino Artero. Melissa Janine London, magna cum laude. Elena Renee Lucas. Amir Maharjan. Alyssa Loren Main. Ivy Mena. Treasure Indra Malafa. Solar Malik. Nabiha Mansour, magna cum laude. Brittany Shameen Martin. Gilberto Angelo Martinez. Randy Martinez. Augustus Stephen Martini, honors in American Studies. Patrick Rocco Marzolino, cum laude. Deandra Mazea. Inga Eva Mazur. Alec McGowan, cum laude. Constance Mead. Diana Renee Medic. Rosalie Anita Medina. Zoe May Mayer. Emily Catherine Miller, summa cum laude. Shannon Ray Menlin. Tiffany Annette Mazura. Michaelia Simone Mitchell. Kusala Rajindu Moligoto. Leonard Maurice Monterey, cum laude. Brisa Montez. April Morales. Brianna Caitlin Morera. Michael Say Morrow. Jacqueline Guadalupe Mota. Samantha Marie Mrozek, cum laude. Shruti Mungi. Maura Jolene Neal, magna cum laude. Patricia Nari. Eric Daniel Noonham. Ni Pham Quy Quen, magna cum laude. Tu Ang Nguyen, cum laude. Michelle Ni. Zachary Tyler Nitzel. Megan Margaret Noon. Brian Neil O'Grady. Gabriel Ochoa. Chidima Ogwejafo. Jaran Ordosh. Rebecca Osbin. Celicia Oscar. Ayush Pont. Dominique Joseph Perello. Grace Elizabeth Parham, cum laude. William Barrett Parkinson. Tyler Henry Paul. Alexander Michael Peck. Akashi Pereira, cum laude. Perez. Cheyenne P. Peterson. Joseph Robert Peterson. Olivia Devin Peterson, cum laude. David Petrak. Eric Pillith. Rafael Anton Miranda Plaza, cum laude. Tyler Van Podvoisky. Morgan Lee Potter. Rade Beer Pradhan. Tyler Austin Price. Judd Pupenden. Autumn Kesnell. Rihanna Quintana Barajas, magna cum laude. Dominique Lamar Rahman. Name Ravi. Betsy Veronica Reyes, cum laude. Teresa Ayana Ricks. Jonathan Rico. Erica Joan Riley, magna cum laude. Alexandria Lee Robertson. Evan Robles. Brendan Stewart Rhodey, cum laude. Deanna Rodriguez. Yvette Rodriguez. Abigail Romo. Tristan Anthony Reese. Peter Martin Rule. Nicholas Allen Ryan. Delaney Jane Rabarzik, summa cum laude. Savannah Sailors, magna cum laude. Joshua Sapkota, magna cum laude, honors in international relations. Eden Oslick Sarkeesian. Eric Sato. Madison Faye Schock, cum laude. Sarah Jane Skierbeck. Joel Slicer. Ezra Stephen Kroc Schley, magna cum laude. Jonathan Ram Schrag, cum laude. Kaylee May Cedar. Jyotsna Ruthnam Sisala. Angelica Pilar Serrano. Quinn Elliott Sharp. Luke Sherman. Shavant Lal Shrestha, cum laude. Teresa Nicole Shoemaker, cum laude. Lindsay Amanda Smith, summa cum laude, honors in anthropology and sociology. Spencer Nicholson Smith, summa cum laude. Hava Solberg, cum laude, honors in psychology. Adrian Jesus Sotelo, honors in composition and rhetoric. Luis Armand Soto. Martin Luis Soto. Julia Lauren Steen, magna cum laude. Irene O'Mara Stevenson. Catherine Marie Pachin Stiava. Mitchell James Sullins. Trey Swanson, cum laude. Laura Elizabeth Tapley. Logan Jeffrey Fake. Cabal Tao, cum laude. Ella Catherine Thomas, cum laude. Everett Noah Thompson. Carly Marie Thorne. Jessica Marie Totten. Jacqueline Victoria Towsley. Cody Christian Tracy. Alan James Trikel. Thomas Allen Trudeau. Sonam Punso Namgel Searing. Emily Rose Unger. Valerie Lynn Veronice, magna cum laude. Suzette Vargas. Soraya Venardo. Krishna Venki. Leontine Martin Wan, magna cum laude. Stephanie Victoria Ward. Rachel Marie Watson, cum laude. Eduardo Wentz, cum laude. Duncan Kenneth Wheeler. Katrina Cherie White. Mario Whitley. Delilah Lauren Wilson. Catherine Eloise Womack. Clayton Joseph Womer. Christopher Yen Kit Wong, summa cum laude. Jeffrey Lee Zhu, magna cum laude. Cynthia Daniela Yanez. Kyle Yang. Leela Priyadashini Yela Swarpu. Momin Zahed. Kayla Zervos. Wenzhen Zhu. Reed Samuel Zielinski. Dylan Jeremy Zippy. Anna Boleyn Flor Zuniga.
Class of 2019, congratulations to you, to your families, and to your friends. It has been an intense 4 years. You have encountered disappointment, maybe even despair. You have worked to exhaustion in the classroom, in the playing fields, in the library. But you have also succeeded beyond your wildest dreams, and you have fallen in love with people, with places, with ideas, and with causes. Your class has spoken out with passion in defense of core values of justice, dignity, equity, and sustainability. Keep up that good work. As your senior class speaker has urged you, find something that you care about, that you're proud to put your name on, and embrace it. Nearly 80 years ago, the great American poet from Galesburg, Carl Sandburg, observed on this very campus that we have hope and faith in you. Speaking outside Old Main, he said, and I quote, "What young people want and dream across the next 100 years will shape history more than any other motivation to be named." And that is why we are all here. We have hope and faith in you. During these 4 years, you have developed the disciplined habits of a curious mind and a compassionate heart. I do have hope and faith that you will shape history and that you will take up the many challenges of global citizenship to heal a troubled planet, to push back the frontiers of scientific knowledge, to bring home the millions displaced or imprisoned by climate change, violence, and persecution, that you will address the root causes of group hatreds. When you arrived at Knox, I told you that you would learn the most from the people the least like you. And in this moment, this particular polarized moment in world history, remember that. When you leave here, listen to the voices of others with different views. Protect their rights as vigorously as you do your own. I ask you, class of 2019, to honor the enormous sacrifice of your families, the dedication of our founders, our faculty, our staff, our board of trustees. I ask you to follow the example of this year's honorary degree recipients. Like Bridget Coughlin, be habitually curious and use less plastic. Like Gloria Ladson-Billings, be a dream keeper for the next generation. Like Matt Wilson, find your groove, but don't forget your roots. Class of 2019, this is the moment at which the care of this historic college now passes into your hands. Because you, class of 2019, will write the next chapter of this college's storied history. By your deeds and by your words, this college will henceforth be known. Come back and visit whenever you can. Your alma mater will be here to welcome you home. Congratulations.
A few years ago, my mother sent me a clip from her local newspaper. The title was Truth in Advertising, and it went like this. Judge Richard Neely of the West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals was in dire need of law clerks, but recruiting was slow. So he posted a notice in the newsletter of the University of Virginia Law School. Would you like to be a Supreme Court justice your first year out of law school? America's laziest and dumbest judge seeks a bright person to keep him from looking stupid. Preference will be given to students who studied interesting but useless subjects at snobby schools. For instance, an applicant who was a classics major at an expensive liberal arts college will have an advantage over one who was an engineering major at MIT. But Judge Neely was not stupid. He knew, as you who are graduating know, that the useless subjects we study in the liberal arts curriculum provide the best preparation available to citizens in a free society. During your time here, you have learned how to work hard, driven by your passions, how to cultivate relationships founded on honesty and integrity. You have immersed yourselves in a rigorous culture of critical discourse, a culture that has pushed you beyond your comfort zone to consider seriously and respectfully the views of those with whom you disagree. You have learned the difference between an argument based on evidence and empty rhetoric fashioned to deceive the unwary. You know the urgency of tending to the health of the planet and safeguarding the institutions of democracy. Those are the qualities of mind Judge Neely and countless other employers look for when they seek to fill positions in their courts or schools or hospitals. A colleague and former professor of Spanish literature here once told me that as a child growing up in Argentina, she had been told that every person in a lifetime should have one child, write one book, and plant one tree. As a teacher of literature, she understood the adage in broad terms. I do not have a child, she said, but as a teacher, I have worked hard to nurture the next generation. I might still write my book, but if I don't, I have tried to use my mind and my education in ways I hope have benefited others. And today I have planted a tree. As you journey from this prairie place, our woodlands and cornfields, we hope you will continue the work begun here with passion and with joy. Hold yourselves and one another to high standards. Read some and write some every day. Find ways to nurture the next generation, and consider planting a tree.